Zoo-wee mama, I'm back with another 5-minute guide video, this time for US Agent. So I'm going to give you some ideas of decks you can play and how to play them with US Agent if you do happen to open him in Spotlights, because he is in alongside Silver Sable and Mockingbird in this very first week of the new September season. It's actually his very first Spotlight appearance since he was originally released in April. And it's probably going to be his only appearance for a good while, so now's your chance to get him. He is a 2-cost, 3-powered card with the very powerful ongoing ability. 4, 5, and 6 cost cards here have -4 power, and that's looking at the original cost of cards. So even if your opponent is playing Mockingbird or Sasquatch for really cheap, US Agent is hitting them with that -4 power. Now, to think of some homes where you could play US Agent, we are looking at synergies that involve location control, like Jean Grey. Okay, forcing your opponent to play their bigger cards in her lane is going to give you more targets for US Agent. Goose is very good. You can play Goose in one lane. That means your opponent has to play their small stuff there. And the other lanes where they're playing their bigger stuff, you can look to play US Agent. Okay, of course, US Agent can also hit your own cards with -4 power. So you may want to run Luke Cage unless you're running mainly just small cost cards yourselves, in which case you don't have to worry about the Luke Cage. So some core archetypes where you will find decent homes for US Agent. We're looking at Ongoing Spectrumless. Okay, he's an ongoing card, he's cheap, and he can actually add a lot of power and value. So he's very good in Spectrum decks. You can also run Luke Cage, who is another ongoing card there, even Jean Grey or Goose. Okay, just a lot of ongoing synergy. Small cards decks are great. Okay, if you're playing even Surfer or just these small card decks where they have a bunch of really strong 3-cost cards, even 2-cost cards, US Agent fits right in because you don't even have to worry about the Luke Cage. Okay, he can even add into some more niche Affliction type decks or even Cerebro 3. So to look at some of those decks, we will go ahead and get started with some ongoing Spectrumless. Okay, so we have 2 here. They're both from Untapped GG. They have decent stats, and they're just solid, okay, and they're a good time. I honestly really enjoy playing these decks. You'll notice they're both running Luke Cage because we do have US Agent and Man-Thing. So it's a nice little combo that you're hitting your opponent's big stuff with US Agent, and then you're hitting their small stuff with Man-Thing, just being really annoying for them. Miss Marvel adds great value here. You can go with the Howard the Duck plus Iron Lad combo, or even just do Howard and no Iron Lad. Howard is an ongoing, so he is getting buffed by the Spectrum, and these are just fun decks. Next up, we are looking at some more recent homes that US Agent has found, and that is in these small cards packages. I mentioned that, these 2 and 3 cost cards right now are absolutely dominating the meta. We have so many just small but big powered cards. US Agent can add to that. So this top list, you notice we have Havoc and Thena. They're actually in both lists. Those cards just get massive. Okay, Thena's really strong. Havoc is normally a bit risky, but these decks are so cheap. They don't even have any cards that cost 4 or more. There's no danger of US Agent hitting your own cards. And so you can afford the Havoc to power up. You've got Thena getting really strong. So my final tips on playing US Agent, okay, if you are playing a deck with him in it, is that even though he's a 2-cost card, you probably want to wait until turns 5 or 6 to play him. You do want to make sure you are getting value and you are hitting your opponent's big cards. Okay, so you want to wait for them to play some of those, and then you know where you can play the US Agent. And if you can force your opponent's play with something like Jean Grey or Goose, as I mentioned earlier, that's going to make it easier for you to have your opponent stack their big cost cards in a single lane. And then you got to be careful of hitting your own big stuff. So either don't play big stuff, or if you are playing big stuff, you may want to include that Luke Cage. And so my final thoughts are, although US Agent doesn't see a ton of play, I think he's actually decent. He is a big powerhouse. Like for a 2-cost card, being able to just throw out -4, -8, -12 power to your opponent's stuff is really strong in the right scenario. And recent metas haven't been great for him, but if we see Hella Discard come back or these Living Tribunal decks, US Agent absolutely runs through those, okay? He absolutely destroys the Iron Man Onslaught combo, okay? It is nasty. So he's good to have in your collection, in my opinion. I enjoy deck building with him. He's just a fun card, and in some metas, he can add a ton of value. So until then, stay positive. I'll see you next time.